if Sheriff Joe endorses you. So anyways, I made this speech and the press said, oh, it was really too tough and too strong, and too excited, and the people were all going nuts, and they were sort of knocking me, right? I said, I got like 15 standing ovations. So the next time, purposely, I went very, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for being here. Like, it was great. It was exactly what they wanted. Next time they said, Donald Trump had very little energy today. It was not good. The truth is, you can't, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, because they can take something you say and turn it around. Like, I'll be on CBS Face the Nation. What I said was perfect. And what I said was, in fact, otherwise I wouldn't, if honestly, I'm going to be on That's Tomorrow. And I taped it yesterday. What I said was so good. It was so perfect. And then they looked, they said, oh, maybe he should have added a word. Well, actually, the way it came out, they took it out that I said. And the only reason I tell you this is because I want you to watch it. Now, if I did something wrong, I wouldn't want you to watch it. So I'm on Face the Nation, and I'm also with John Dickerson, who's actually a very good guy, tomorrow. And we do a long interview and a really good interview. And we're also on Chris Wallace at Fox. So I think they're two good interviews, so you watch. So you don't like that. But they take things and they say it's very, very interesting. Now, the problem is they don't do it with everybody. They do it with me, but I don't see doing it with other people. For instance, I watched Kasich today on CNN on an abortion question. And I said, what a terrible answer that was. That was a terrible answer. He didn't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Because it's a tough question. You know, 50% of the people hate you. 50% of the people love you. Very simple. It's 50-50. 50 hate, 50 love. He gave a horrible answer. I called up my people. I said, just out of curiosity, is that going to get any press? They said his answer was horrible. And they said, well, let me check. So far, no press. Well, then I just checked. You know, this is hours and hours ago. Nothing. Nobody cares. So it's a double standard. And again, I'm not complaining because we all play the game and we all do what we have to do. But I'll tell you what is interesting. Thank you. I'll tell you what is interesting. The people get it. The people really understand. You know? The people really understand. So look, you're doing badly in job creation, which is really incredible. Wisconsin has to keep wages very depressed. If you don't keep wages depressed, you're not going to hold your jobs, which tells you have the wrong kind of jobs, folks. I hate to tell you, we'll bring the jobs back that you want to make a little money with. A lot of your job growth, your primary job growth, comes from healthcare jobs, which pay less. I mean, they pay $525 a week. Again, Journal. Wages in manufacturing have stalled, and low-wage nations are doing a number. We're going to stop that. Household income has declined since the year 2000. Okay, so folks, you're in Wisconsin. We like the governor. Again, he came up, he gave me a beautiful plaque. My only thing is, do I take it and show it to you? You know, it's a wonderful thing. I don't know if I do it. Some people say, oh, but he's sort of popular with the Republicans. Not popular in the state, but popular with the Republicans. Well, right now I'm catering to the Republicans, although I think we're going to have good crossover. I do believe we're going to have Democrats. I do believe we're going to have independents. I think a lot of people, and I'll tell you the people that I'm most fond of, in a sense, because it's amazing what's happening. When I do shake hands with people and sign, do my things afterwards, sometimes I'll do. So many people say, Mr. Trump, I've never voted before. This is the first time I've ever voted. Now, immediately you say, that's not nice. But then you say, well, wait a minute. And they're wearing like a Trump shirt. And there's some people, you know, they're pretty rich people. They're wearing rich with a Trump shirt. But there's a woman in Tennessee, 93 years old. She's never voted before. Beautiful woman. Beautiful. And dressed beautifully. And she came in and they wanted, it was a big deal. It's actually been a big story in Tennessee. First time voter, never voted before. She's voting for Trump. And she's so excited about it. And it's just a great thing. And I love that. So we get a lot of people that have never voted before. Now, you don't read this in the papers, and I can't say it if it's not true, because I'll end up in a front page story. Trump exaggerates this and that, but I only say what's true. I've gotten millions of votes more than Ted Cruz. I've gotten millions and millions of votes more than Kasich. Millions of votes more. What's happened to the Republican Party, which in all fairness, had a falling asleep reputation, whether we like it or not. It was falling asleep. And frankly, the whole structure of the Republican Party is much tougher to win the presidency. It is so much tougher. If you don't win every state perfectly, but I'm going to bring some states into play that nobody else is going to be able to put into play. I mean, nobody. And we're getting great polls with African Americans because they know we're going to bring back jobs. We're getting, in my opinion, I'll tell you what, nobody has greater respect for women than Donald Trump. Nobody. Nobody. And, you know, I watch the press do a number on me with women, and a lot of the women that we see, and look at all the women here today, half are women. Thank you. But, and one of them asked, why? Why do you think you're going to do us? It's because we are going to do great for women, but we're also going to do great, and nobody's going to do better in protecting our country, protecting our borders, and making this a safe place to be. That's for men and women. Men and women. So, and actually on Monday, my wife is coming up. She's going to campaign. She's never done this before. She's coming, so we're starting in Wisconsin. So that'll be exciting. Melania is coming up, and Ivanka just had a baby. She just had a beautiful baby. And Ivanka is going to start another week or so. She's going to start campaigning. She's just all set. In fact, last time she had a baby, she was in the office the following day. This time, I think she'll be in the office pretty within a couple of days. But she's very strong and very good. And she had a beautiful baby, so we're very happy. She's going to start campaigning too, so we're really happy about that. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is really being unfairly discussed. I spoke and I had a town hall with Anderson Cooper, which was very fair. I must tell you. He's tough but smart and good. I thought his questions were good. Tremendous rating. He got a tremendous rating. That was a town hall last week. You saw the ratings were fantastic. When I went like this, you had Cruz, you had Kasich, and you had Trump. All three of us. 1 hour. The ratings were, you understand what that means. I was in the middle. And in fact, I beat every other show on cable by a lot, by millions of votes. We beat everybody. It was very good. In fact, CNN called me immediately following, although they don't treat me good. CNN does not treat me good, by the way, but they treat me so badly. But they immediately called, we'd like to do another one. I said, I just did one. No, we're not. And then they sent out a release. You all saw the release. That it's one of the highest rated shows they've had in a long time and beat everybody on cable. And I beat everybody, period, regardless of cable. So it was a great success. And it was a fair interview. I like Anderson Cooper. I think he's very tough, but very fair. And he talked about NATO. Now, in all fairness, I've been a businessman. So things like NATO, it's not like, when I'm building a building in Manhattan, or when I'm signing a lease for the largest bank in the world, which happens to be from China, or when I'm doing whatever I do, or when I'm making deals. We're doing 114 deals all over the world right now. Now, my children are doing it, my executives are doing it. Nobody talks about it, but we have deals all over the world going up, and fantastic, and getting ready to sign deals that are going to be fantastic. But I will tell you, nobody asked me about NATO. Nobody asked me about NAFTA. Nobody asked me about anything. They talk about deals. That's what they do. Well, my whole life has been doing this. And I've been running for office. I've been a politician since June 16th. Think about it. But I have good common sense, and I have good business sense. I guess I have great business sense. Look, I built a company. In a relatively short period of time that's worth more than $10 billion. And it's not computer stuff and the internet stuff. You open it and you open a love site and it's worth $700 million. It's day one and these kids never saw anything like it. And they come to your office to say hello to you, or they're wearing an undershirt. They come up to meet me. A lot of the guys from Silicon, and they're wearing undershirts. I could tell you a story. Some of the biggest in the world, they'll come in roller skates and they'll be wearing like a T-shirt. And the guard actually, who's one of the richest in the world, comes into Trump Tower on roller skates, right? Says, hey, I want to see Donald Trump. They throw him out of the building. And it was one of the founders of I don't want to embarrass him, and he wouldn't be embarrassed, actually. I don't think he thinks it's funny, but he's a friend. He's a good guy. But they threw him out of the building. He's calling from outside. They won't let me into the building because the way he's dressed, he's got jeans and an undershirt on. So it's one of those things. And he's worth billions, many, many billions of dollars. But I built a company with real estate and with other things that's worth more than $10 billion. Great, great company. And, you know, when you can do that, that's a tribute. That's what we need. Here's a story. They asked me, I was actually on Wolf Blitzer, good guy, and he asked me tell me about NATO. I'm saying, well, that's a question that's never been asked to me before, but I'll tell you about NATO. It's obsolete, and we're paying too much money. Okay, that's my instincts, all right? That's just my instinct. And I got hammered. How could you ever talk? In fact, Obama, you probably saw that. Obama yesterday hammered me on my stance on Japan. And I want to talk to you a little bit about it, because what I'm here to do, what I'm really going to be great at is trade. What I'm really going to be great at is the borders and security and military. And when they do the polls, which has a big segment. And by the way, we're going to get great health care because we're going to get rid of Obamacare. We're going to bring, well, we're getting rid of it. It's a disaster. No, I mean, we're going to do these things. Those are like the easy things. All right, we're going to get rid of Obamacare. We're going to repeal it, replace it with something so good, so much less expensive. Your premiums are going up 45, 55%. It's ridiculous. And by the way, whether you say you're going to get rid of it, it's going to get rid of it anyway, because in the year 17, it explodes. Unless the Republicans do it again, where they give more budget money to keep it going, which should not have happened with this omnibus budget. But we're going to get rid of Common Core. We're going to bring education locally. We're going to protect our Second Amendment, which is under siege. We're going to fight very hard for Christianity. You know, Christianity is being chipped at. We're being chipped away. And, you know, you've seen, I've won most of the evangelical vote. When I went to South Carolina, everybody said, Sarah, that was Cruz is going to win it. He's going to win. Evangelical, I think they said 68% evangelical. I won in a landslide, and I won the evangelical vote because they get it. I've had great support. You know, so many. Jerry Falwell Jr. has been incredible. Pastor Jeffress, I watched him on television this morning. He actually thought my answer on abortion was a very good answer, which is a very interesting thing. But, you know, again, that's a lot of different views, a lot of different. You could debate that subject for years to come. You could debate it for years to come. But I will tell you this: you had all of these people, and I'm winning one after one. So Wolf Blitzer asks me about NATO, and I said, look, and now think of this not only from a security standpoint, folks. Our country is a third world nation. Our infrastructure is dead. It's gone. Our bridges are 55% ready to fall down. I mean, they're really unsafe. Our roadways are bad. Everything's bad. And you may see it a little bit less in this part of the country, but you see it too, because I look at your numbers and they're not good at all. And you're right in the middle of the pack. You're not doing anything outstanding, believe me. But I look at this. No, it's true. I mean, Wisconsin's not doing well. Is it doing okay? It's doing okay. But by the way, take a look at your borrowings. I think it's $48 billion. So they're borrowing too much money, and too many bad things are happening. Bottom line is your jobs are leaving. You can't be successful, and that's for the country too. You can't be successful unless the jobs cut. So they're talking about NATO, and I said, well, here's the way I look at it. And I almost know this instinctively, but I actually had some numbers. But I would almost know this instinctively because every country beats us. We don't win anymore. Every single country beats us. Whether it's China in trade, they beat us. We can't even beat ISIS. We can't beat ISIS. We have military. We can't beat ISIS. And by the way, our military has been totally depleted, and we're going to build it up again. We're going to make it the strongest military in the world, and nobody's going to mess with us anymore. Nobody. And we're going to take care of our vets who have been totally mistreated. We're going to take care of our vets. Okay? Believe me. I'm going to do it. And, you know, vets come up to me. I have almost uniform support with the vets. And they come up to me. They say, you know, Mr. Trump, oh, that's my vet. That's my favorite vet. But you know what? The vets come up to me. They come up to me and they say all the time, they say, you know, Mr. Trump, you're the only one. I have such tremendous support from the vets. That's one of the reasons I did so well in South Carolina, different places, and New Hampshire, where I won. We have a huge vet population. But they come up to me all the time and they say, you know, of all these people, we started off with 17. Now we're down to 2 leftovers, okay? 2 leftovers. That's all I have left. We have 2 people left. Nobody got that joke, but that's okay. But you know what? they started off at 17, and nobody talked about it. And they'd come to me when there were 10 left, when there were 8 left, when there were 2 left. They came to me 2 days ago, and they said, "You're the only one that mentions the vets in your